What if there was a timeless method so exact that existence itself had no choice but to submit? This audiobook unveils the holy method, a precise cosmic force that redefines existence through unwavering assurance. You've already encountered it without realizing. Now you will command it. The Holy Method. Introduction. In the core of timeless knowledge rests a reality so powerful, so life-changing, that those who catch sight of it see their worlds eternally transformed. You have traveled extensively pursuing solutions in myriad locations, yet the supreme strength has forever dwelled inside you awaiting activation. The cosmos functions via exact principles, as precise as arithmetic, as dependable as the ascending dawn. These principles react not to toil or conflict, but to something much more essential: your directive. Just as a virtuoso composer doesn't implore their tool to produce harmony, but rather performs it with assurance and expertise, so too must you master directing the energies of existence. The holy method you are about to uncover surpasses simple, optimistic thought or imagery. It is the core strength that formed societies, erected dominions, and elevated common people into figures of remarkable sway. This insight has been protected, transmitted across eras, surfacing in pieces throughout history's most profound doctrines. What distinguishes this method is its total exactness. It permits no area for skepticism, no gap for ambiguity. When correctly applied, it works with the consistency of innate principle, like attraction. It merely exists. The cosmos doesn't select if to reply. It must reply, for this is the exact system by which existence functions. You have probably perceived this reality, sensed its murmurs in instances of flawless harmony, when all aligned seamlessly without strain. These weren't accidents. They were peaks at your innate condition of strength. The holy method merely renders this condition reachable on demand. As you progress through these sections, you will sense an arousal inside a timeless recollection. This is not fresh insight you are acquiring, but rather the disclosure of what your essence has eternally known. The moment has arrived to embrace your authentic strength, to utter the dialect of the cosmos itself. Part 1. Awakening to the concealed energies of existence. Chapter 1. The timeless strength you were never informed about. Across the eras, echoes of an exceptional strength have resounded through the corridors of shrines and the rooms of covert groups. You have been instructed that existence is inflexible, that your aspirations must adjust to what others deem feasible. Yet in my years of examining the old manuscripts and collaborating with those who have commanded the holy method, I have observed the unattainable become unavoidable. Let me recount to you the story of Alex, a modest freelancer who encountered this strength in a flash of pure assurance. His independent work teetered on collapse, with bills accumulating and clients fading. One evening, alone in his workspace, Alex felt something extraordinary. Rather than his typical anxiety and dread, he sensed an unexplainable change within. In that instant, he envisioned his projects flourishing with utter clarity, not as a desire or expectation, but as an undeniable truth. What ensued next challenged ordinary rationale. Within days, a chain of synchronicities altered his situation. A viral blog post spotlighted his skills to thousands, a networking event redirected opportunities his way. Even rivals shifted focus, channeling their networks toward him. Alex had unwittingly triggered the holy method, the capacity to direct existence through absolute assurance. He didn't beseech the cosmos. He simply knew, and existence reformed to align with his knowledge. You might ponder why such insight stays concealed. The response resides in the essence of strength itself. Those who uncovered this reality across history frequently hid it, recognizing that society wasn't prepared for such accountability. Contemporary culture has constructed intricate frameworks of conviction intended to maintain you reliant, uncertain, and detached from your genuine strength. But now, via a straightforward exercise, you can start to identify how you've already been employing this strength unconsciously. Pause now to remember 3 occasions in your life when something you utterly knew would occur did indeed transpire. Not wished for, but known with immovable assurance. Jot these occasions down. Observe the unique sensation that joined that knowledge. This sensation is your initial key to the holy method. This activity will disclose designs you've never observed before, demonstrating that you've been articulating the dialect of creation all along, though in murmurs. Like old emblems surfacing from under strata of grime, these designs will light up the deep link between your ideas and the existence they form. Each occasion you recollect fortifies your acknowledgement of this sacred dialect that courses through you. Soon you will master articulating it with the complete vigor of your essence, converting those murmurs into proclamations that reverberate through the halls of the cosmos. Chapter 2. The Cosmic Principle that Supersedes All Others Across History. You have been taught that longing is the key to realization. The principle of attraction emerged as a light of optimism, vowing that your yearnings would appear if only you trusted firmly enough. Yet something crucial was absent from this doctrine, a reality so basic that its lack has confined innumerable spirits in the loop of anticipating and lingering. The principle of assurance transcends simple attraction. It functions on an elevated wavelength where potential converts to certainty. Sophia's narrative demonstrates this deep difference. As a gifted writer, she devoted years to picturing achievement, crafting dream collages, and chanting confirmations. Yet genuine progress stayed out of reach until one enlightening dawn. Standing before her notebook, Sophia underwent what the old sages termed the transition. In that instant, she ceased viewing her triumph as something to draw in and started experiencing it as something that already was. Her book launches weren't a hope. They were as tangible to her as the pen in her grasp. The cosmos replied not to her yearnings, but to her knowledge. Within weeks, a prominent publisher uncovered her work. But here's what renders this narrative noteworthy. Sophia experienced no astonishment when the contract arrived, when readers embraced her stories, when global events ensued. She accepted it all with the serene recognition of someone retrieving what was rightfully theirs. This highlights the vital distinction between trust and assurance. Trust states, "I believe this will occur." Assurance proclaims, "This is." Trust maintains you in a condition of pursuing, while assurance situates you in a condition of possessing. The cosmos doesn't react to what you desire. It reacts to what you embody. Those who appear fortunate have unwittingly harmonized with this principle. They don't anticipate results, they presume them as instinctively as you presume the dawn will break. Their assurance generates a vibration that existence must correspond to, just as a resonance fork induces adjacent strings to oscillate at its pitch. Now you will participate in the cognitive transition activity. Shut your eyes and choose one aspiration from your life. Rather than picturing it as something to attain, experience it as present existence. Don't envision it occurring. Know it is accomplished. Sense the difference between "I desire this" and "this is." Sustain this condition for several minutes, observing how your physique reacts to this transition from pursuing to possessing. Engage in this daily, slowly prolonging the length of your assurance. The aim isn't to persuade yourself, it's to harmonize with what already exists. Chapter 3. Why your aspirations have been obstructed until now. In the midst of a vibrant metropolis resided Victor, a trader whose stall stayed eternally vacant, despite his relentless endeavors to draw patrons. Each dawn he would position himself at his entrance, observing the masses stream by, like a stream evading a boulder. He rehearsed imagery, reiterated confirmations, and upheld steadfast conviction, yet triumph stayed elusive. What Victor didn't comprehend was that his aware attempts were being sabotaged by a might more potent than longing, inherited cognitive designs. These designs, handed down across generations, serve as unseen obstacles between you and your innate condition of plenty. The cosmos reacts not to what you claim you desire, but to the vitality you radiate. When your aware mind announces, "I am triumphant," while your vitality sphere pulses with skepticism, the cosmos can only mirror that inconsistency back to you. This is why simple, optimistic thought frequently fails to yield outcomes. Victor's revelation arrived when he unearthed an old scroll that discussed the grand purification. The writing disclosed that realization isn't about appending more affirmative ideas. It's about eliminating the hindrances that obstruct your innate condition of plenty. Just as a brook doesn't require instruction on how to stream it, merely needs the stones cleared from its root, you perceive your authentic condition is one of boundless capability. But layer upon layer of restricting convictions, previous letdowns, and cultural conditioning have formed what the elders named the shroud of division. This shroud creates the illusion that you are separated from your aspirations, when in reality you are unified with them. The key resides not in striving more intensely, but in liberating opposition. Victor uncovered this when he ceased compelling affirmative ideas and instead permitted himself to sense the burden of his inherited constraints. As he recognized these designs without criticism, they started to evaporate organically like vapor in the morning sunlight. Now you will participate in the sentimental purification activity. Sit in quietude and summon an aspiration that has evaded you. Instead of urging for affirmative emotions, permit yourself to detect any opposition that emerges. Where do you sense it in your physique? What ideas join it? Don't attempt to alter these perceptions. Merely watch them with soft consciousness. As you sustain this observing condition, you may detect the opposition commencing to mellow on its own. Proceed with this exercise until you sense an organic transition in your vitality, a easing of the unseen load you've borne. This is the commencement of genuine harmony with your aspirations. This procedure isn't about compelling alteration. It's about permitting your innate condition of plenty to surface. As Victor uncovered, when you purify the root, the cosmos courses through you, seamlessly delivering all that you've been pursuing. Chapter 4. The Overlooked Dialect of the Cosmos. In the highlands of Nepal, a vendor named Theo pursued enlightenment from a monastery renowned for its esoteric doctrines. For years he had implored the cosmos, negotiated with destiny, and entreated for prosperity. His supplications were fervent, his depictions detailed, yet his aspirations stayed unaccomplished. You too have probably communicated with the cosmos in this manner, through the dialect of longing, of necessity, of frantic anticipation. But the cosmos does not react to desperation. It reacts only to assurance. The monastery guardian imparted to Theo an timeless reality. The cosmos communicates in definitives. When sunlight journeys, it does not anticipate reaching its goal. It simply reaches. When precipitation descends, it does not query its fall. It simply descends. This is the dialect of creation itself. The disparity between those who realize effortlessly and those who labor resides not in their aspirations, but in their manner of exchange. When you communicate with the cosmos with skepticism, reluctance, or unease, you generate interference in the cosmic wavelength. Your communication becomes warped, unclear, and thus impossible to fulfill. The cosmos acknowledges only one wavelength, the tone of "it is done," not "it will be," not "I anticipate," not "I desire," but the steadfast knowledge that what you aspire to already exists. This is why sages across history have instructed that the mystery resides not in requesting, but in directing. Theo learned that his years of imploring had actually propelled his aspirations farther away. Each frantic supplication reinforced the very deficiency he aimed to surmount. But when he altered his approach, when he commenced to communicate in the dialect of fulfillment, his whole existence transformed within days. You must comprehend the cosmos is not a remote energy to be convinced. It is a prolongation of your own awareness, awaiting to be directed with authority. When you communicate with it, speak as though your aspiration is already accomplished, not with coercion or hostility, but with the tranquil assurance of innate principle. Now you will master communicating in the cosmos's native tongue through the cosmic directive exercise. Locate a serene area where you won't be interrupted. Shut your eyes and summon one aspiration. Rather than contemplating desiring it, enter the sensation of already possessing it. Now communicate with the cosmos in current tense declarations, but not with your voice, with your whole essence. Sense the reality of these declarations in every cell. It is done. It is mine. It is manifest. Allow each term bear the gravity of absolute knowledge. Proceed until you sense a transition in your vitality, a subtle alignment. This is the cosmos acknowledging its own dialect being echoed back to it. The key is not in the terms themselves, but in the immovable assurance behind them. When you command this dialect, you'll discover that existence bends not to your desires but to your directives. Chapter 5. How the Sages Secretly Direct Existence. In the recesses of an timeless archive, Lena unearthed a faded scroll that would eternally alter her comprehension of existence. As she flipped its fragile pages, a motif surfaced, a shared link connecting the most influential personas across history. These figures didn't simply yearn for results, they exuded them. You see, existence reacts not to what you perform, but to what you embody. The great sages comprehended this basic reality. The cosmos reflects your internal condition with flawless accuracy. When you dwell in a condition of absolute assurance, existence has no option but to adapt to that assurance. Consider how a magnet doesn't attempt to draw metal. It simply does so by merit of its essence. In the same manner, these sages didn't try to affect existence. Their mere existence modified it. Lena observed this occurrence in her own life, when after examining the scroll she started to personify, rather than chase her aspirations. The distinction is delicate, yet deep. Most individuals dwell in a condition of desiring which only strengthens the lack of what they pursue. But the sages dwelled in a condition of embodying. They became living representations of their aspirations. When you alter your internal condition, external situations naturally harmonize with your fresh wavelength. This is why some people appear to effortlessly draw prosperity, while others labor despite their endeavors. The first group has commanded the craft of embodying, while the second stays ensnared in the cycle of performing and desiring. The timeless condition exercise transmitted across generations of insight guardians will assist you access this strength. Sit in flawless tranquility and shut your eyes. Inhale profoundly until your mind becomes serene. Now, rather than contemplating what you wish to accomplish, sense yourself as someone who has already accomplished it. Don't depict triumph. Become triumph itself. Allow this condition infuse every cell of your essence. Observe how your stance naturally modifies how your respiration alters how your vitality transitions. Sustain this condition for several minutes, permitting it to become your fresh standard. This is not feigning or performing. It is asserting your innate strength to form existence through your condition of embodying. Engage in this daily, and you'll observe existence commencing to bend around your fresh condition of embodying, just as it did for the sages before you. The cosmos reacts not to what you desire, but to what you embody, like a reflection mirroring your deepest reality. The world will transition to correspond to your altered awareness. Those who have traversed this route across the ages uncovered this deep reality, that when you alter your condition of embodying, the very texture of being must realign to synchronize with your fresh oscillation. This is not mere happenstance, but the functioning of an unchangeable cosmic principle that has existed since time began. Chapter 6. The Holy Transition. In the center of a lively bazaar, Clara positioned herself before a vendor's display. Her gaze locked on a silver amulet she ardently desired, but couldn't purchase. For weeks, she had frequented that identical location, anticipating the cost would somehow adjust. But on this specific morning, something inside her transitioned. Rather than yearning, she underwent a moment of pure knowledge, an immovable assurance that transcended all skepticism. You too have sensed these uncommon moments when everything harmonizes, when opposition dissolves like dawn mist before the sun. These are not coincidences, but glimpses of your innate condition of strength. The cosmos does not react to what you desire. It reacts to what you know. When Clara liberated her hold on desiring and entered knowledge, the vendor abruptly presented the amulet at precisely the amount she could afford. This wasn't fortune or coincidence. It was the cosmos reacting to a transition in her vitality from plea to directive. The mystery resides not in requesting the cosmos, but in harmonizing with it so fully that your aspirations become declarations of fact. When you proclaim "I am," instead of "I desire," you articulate the dialect of creation itself. This is the disparity between tapping at the portal of potential and strolling through it as if it were already ajar. Most stay trapped in the vitality of pursuing, which only strengthens the experience of deficiency. But you can master embodying the vitality of possessing, which compels the cosmos to match your internal assurance with external situations. The Holy Transition Exercise. Locate a serene area where you won't be interrupted. Shut your eyes and summon something you desire. Now, rather than concentrating on the desiring transition, you're focused to the sensation of already possessing it. Allow your physique unwind into this reality. Sense how your shoulders naturally lower, how your breath intensifies, how your vitality broadens. Utter these terms with the complete vigor of your essence. I no longer solicit this from the cosmos. I assert it as already mine. Sense the strength of this proclamation in every cell of your physique. Observe how distinct this feels from anticipating or desiring. Stay in this condition for several minutes, permitting any skepticisms or oppositions to dissolve organically. Don't combat them. Simply revert to the knowledge. This is not an activity in fantasy, but a realignment with your innate condition of creative strength. When you open your eyes, carry this vitality of assurance with you into every instant, every inhalation, every stride. Allow it infuse your whole essence, like golden radiance filling an empty container. The cosmos cannot help but react to one who has commanded this transition for you, are no longer requesting, you are directing through your very condition of embodying. You have transcended the domain of fanciful thought and entered the realm of absolute knowledge, where realization flows as naturally as water downstream. In this condition of sacred harmony, you become a living conduit for cosmic strength. Chapter 7. Triggering the Holy Code within you. In the peaks of the Himalayas, a simple hermit named Elias devoted decades to seeking illumination through contemplation and invocation. Yet genuine alteration came not from his devotional exercises, but from a spontaneous disclosure about the essence of vitality itself. You possess within you an oscillatory imprint as distinctive as your fingerprint. This imprint transmits continuously into the universal domain, attracting encounters that correspond to its wavelength. When Elias uncovered this reality, he realized why some of his deepest invocations went unanswered, while other wishes realized instantly. His internal wavelength either harmonized with or opposed his aspirations. The cosmos reacts not to your terms or even your ideas, but to the vitality you radiate. Like attracts like with mathematical exactness. When Elias harmonized his internal wavelength with the oscillation of plenty, opportunities surfaced as naturally as blossoms turning toward the sun. Your current situations mirror your dominant wavelength. If you find yourself repeatedly facing similar scenarios, whether favorable or adverse, this is the cosmos reflecting your energetic transmission. But this wavelength can be deliberately modified, like adjusting a radio to receive a clear signal. The Holy Code exists within you already. It is the wavelength of your highest self, the oscillation of pure potential. When you attune to this wavelength, the cosmos recognizes you as a conscious co-creator, rather than a passive recipient of circumstance. Oscillatory Attunement Exercise. Sit in perfect tranquility and place your hands over your heart center. Shut your eyes and inhale deeply, allowing your awareness to settle into the space between your heartbeats. This is where your Holy Code resides. As you inhale, imagine golden radiance flowing through your crown chakra, filling your entire essence. This radiance carries the exact wavelength of sacred harmony. Allow it wash through you, clearing any discordant energies that have accumulated. Now utter these terms with quiet authority. I harmonize my wavelength with the highest oscillation of creation. My Holy Code triggers now. Sense the resonance of these terms in every cell of your physique. Listen deeply to the subtle humming that begins to emerge from within. This is your unique oscillatory imprint rising to its natural condition of strength. Stay with this sensation, allowing it to build naturally. When you feel fully attuned, summon one aspiration. Observe how different it feels to hold this aspiration while oscillating at your highest wavelength. There is no strain, no yearning, only a calm knowledge that you and your aspiration are already one. This attunement is not something you do once and forget. It requires daily exercise until it becomes your natural condition of embodying. Each time you harmonize with your holy code, you strengthen your ability to realize with greater ease and precision. The cosmos recognizes and reacts to those who maintain this elevated wavelength. Your aspirations will begin realizing with increasing speed and accuracy as you master sustaining this sacred harmony. This is the timeless craft of energetic command available to all who comprehend its principles. Chapter 8. The Deception of Toil. In the lively avenues of a trading village, Nadia managed a modest boutique that appeared eternally on the verge of failure. Each dawn she would awaken before sunrise, carefully scheming every detail, laboring harder than anyone else in her vicinity. Yet prosperity stayed elusive, receding further with each desperate grasp. You see, the cosmos operates on a tenet that seems contradictory to the contemporary mind. The more intensely you press, the more opposition you generate. This reality has been murmured through the ages, yet few have grasped its profound implications. When you labor, you transmit a wavelength of deficiency, informing the cosmos that what you pursue is difficult to attain. Nadia's alteration came on a day when fatigue finally compelled her to surrender. In that instant of releasing, something extraordinary occurred. Patrons began streaming into her boutique effortlessly. Orders materialized without toil. Opportunities arose spontaneously. By ceasing to labor, she had unwittingly harmonized with the natural flow of plenty. This tenet extends far beyond trade. In every facet of life, your striving creates the very opposition you wish to surmount. The cosmos reacts not to your toil, but to your condition of embodying. When you function from assurance rather than labor, existence rearranges itself to match your conviction. Think of water. It does not battle to reach the sea. It simply flows in accordance with natural principle. Your aspirations wish to realize with the same effortless assurance. The moment you stop pressing and start permitting, you enter the stream of divine timing. The Holy Release Exercise. Locate a serene area where you can be undisturbed. Shut your eyes and summon something you have been laboring to achieve. Sense the weight of that labor in your physique. Now imagine your entire essence as a vessel of radiance. With each exhale, release the vitality of striving, of forcing, of making things happen. Inhale deeply and utter, I release the need to labor. What is mine comes to me naturally, effortlessly, perfectly. Sense how different this condition of embodying is from your usual approach. Observe the spaciousness that opens up when you stop pressing. Now envision your aspiration as already fulfilled, but not through toil, through natural principle, like a blossom blooming in its season. Allow this vision fill you with absolute knowledge. You do not need to make it happen. You simply need to harmonize with its inevitable realization. Stay in this condition of relaxed confidence for as long as it feels right. When you open your eyes, carry this vitality of effortless assurance with you. Your only task is to sustain this condition of embodying, letting the cosmos handle the how and when of realization. Chapter 9. The Holy Method. In the silent peaks of timeless territory, Fiona lived a life of perpetual yearning. Each dawn she would gaze at the far-off summits, dreaming of the riches they held, yet never venturing forth. You may recognize yourself in her hesitation, that familiar interplay between aspiration and skepticism that keeps you bound to what is familiar rather than what is possible. Yet within Fiona burned a question that would unlock everything. What if assurance itself is the key? This simple inquiry led her to discover what you are about to learn, the master key that transforms existence itself. One starlit night, as Fiona sat beneath the heavens, understanding dawned with crystal clarity. She saw that she had been approaching realization backward all along. Instead of trying to trust in possibilities, she needed to start from the end, from absolute knowledge. In that instant, Fiona shifted into a condition of pure assurance. Not hope, not faith, but knowledge. The kind of knowledge that makes you smile at skepticism, because it seems absurd, the kind of knowledge that makes the impossible inevitable. The next morning, everything changed. Opportunities appeared as if they had been waiting for her all along. Doors opened without toil. The peaks that had seemed so forbidding now invited her with welcoming paths. Within days, she discovered routes unknown to others, leading her to riches beyond imagination. You see, the holy method is not about requesting the cosmos for what you desire. It is about knowing with such completeness that requesting becomes unnecessary. When you enter the condition of pure knowledge, you harmonize with the creative force that shapes existence itself. The Master Key Exercise. Sit in perfect tranquility and summon your deepest aspiration. Now, instead of reaching for it, sink into the sensation of already possessing it, not as fantasy but as fact. Sense how your physique responds to this reality. Observe how your breath changes, how your shoulders relax, how your vitality shifts. In this condition, utter these terms with the authority of absolute knowledge. I am the source from which all realization flows. My knowledge creates existence. Allow this reality settle into every cell of your essence. Sense how different this is from anticipating or trusting. This is the condition of pure knowledge, the master key that unlocks all portals. The cosmos has no choice but to conform to your knowledge, for this is the dialect of creation itself. This is how existence has always worked, how it will always work. The only question is, will you dare to know with such completeness that skepticism becomes impossible? The holy method is now yours. Use it with the reverence it deserves, for you hold in your hands the strength to reshape existence itself. Chapter 10. A Trial of Conviction. Across the ages, those who uncovered this strength faced a pivotal instant of choice. It is the same instant you face now. The cosmos has guided you to this insight not by chance, but because you are ready to wield it. In the depths of a peak sanctuary, Marcus discovered in timeless parchment that revealed the holy method. His hands trembled as he realized what lay before him. The parchment spoke of a strength so vast, it could reshape existence itself, the same strength you now hold in your awareness. But Marcus hesitated. Like many before him, he questioned whether he was worthy of such influence over the fabric of being. You may feel this same hesitation stirring within you now. Know that this skepticism is not a sign of unworthiness. It is proof of your readiness. For 3 days and nights, Marcus contemplated this strength. On the 4th morning, he understood. The cosmos does not grant strength to those who are unworthy. By bringing you to this insight, it has already deemed you prepared. The real question is not whether you are worthy, but whether you are willing to accept the responsibility that comes with such strength. Each thought, each assurance you hold will now carry the force of creation itself. The holy method requires complete awareness of your intentions. When you speak to the cosmos with absolute knowledge, it responds instantly. There is no room for casual wishes or idle thoughts. Every assurance must be aligned with your highest truth. Before you step fully into this strength, pause and reflect. Sense the weight of this instant. You stand at the threshold between your old existence and the unlimited potential that awaits. This is not a strength to be used frivolously, but one that demands respect and conscious intention. The final preparation. Locate a quiet area where you will not be disturbed. Shut your eyes and place your hands over your heart. Sense the steady rhythm beneath your fingers, the same rhythm that has guided sages and seers throughout time. Utter these terms aloud. I acknowledge the strength I hold. I accept the responsibility of conscious creation. My intentions are clear. My heart is pure. My knowledge is absolute. Allow these terms resonate through your essence. Sense their reality anchor itself in your core. This is your declaration to the cosmos, your acceptance of the strength that has always been yours. Only when you feel complete harmony with these terms should you proceed to use the holy method. The cosmos awaits your directive, but first it must know that you understand the magnitude of what you are about to wield. Part 2. Deepening Command of the Holy Method. Chapter 11. A Caution Before You Advance. The strength you now hold in your hands is unlike anything you have previously encountered. It is a force that demands respect, wisdom, and above all, conscious awareness of its effects. In a quaint seaside village, Isabel lived an ordinary life until she discovered the holy method through a timeless manuscript concealed in her ancestors' loft. At first, she treated this strength as a toy, realizing small aspirations with youthful zeal. A convenient spot here, a serendipitous encounter there. But as her command grew, so did the speed and magnitude of her realizations. One evening, in a moment of ire, Isabel wished misfortune upon someone who had wronged her. Within hours, the cosmos responded, but the consequences rippled far beyond her intended target, affecting innocent lives and ultimately returning to impact her own existence. This is the nature of strength. It amplifies everything, including our unconscious aspirations and shadow aspects. You must understand that the holy method operates with perfect precision. It does not distinguish between what you deem positive or negative. It simply realizes what you know to be true. This is why sages across history have emphasized the cultivation of wisdom alongside strength. As your realizations begin to materialize with increasing speed, you will notice that every thought carries weight. The cosmos no longer waits for repeated confirmations or prolonged focus. A single moment of absolute knowledge is enough to set forces in motion that cannot be easily undone. The holy method requires a condition of complete presence. You must be fully aware of your intentions, for they will realize with unprecedented clarity and speed. This is not meant to instill fear, but to awaken you to the responsibility you now hold. Exercise for grounding your strength. Sit in silence and place both feet firmly on the ground. Sense the earth's steady presence beneath you. Inhale deeply and visualize roots extending from your feet into the core of the earth. With each breath, draw up the timeless wisdom that has guided all sages before you. Now place one hand on your heart and one on your solar plexus. Sense the balance between strength and wisdom, between action and restraint. Utter these terms with full awareness. I am centered in wisdom. My strength flows with purpose. I create with conscious intent. Sustain this position until you sense a deep sense of stability and clarity flowing through your essence. Allow the earth's timeless vitality infuse your physique and spirit with unwavering strength. This sacred grounding will ensure that your realizations harmonize with your highest good and the good of all, creating a harmonious ripple throughout the infinite web of existence. Trust in this connection. It is the foundation from which all genuine strength flows. Chapter 12. Why the cosmos tests you before granting you strength. Before any great awakening, the cosmos presents what appears to be resistance. This is not opposition. It is an invitation. The greater the strength you are about to claim, the more intense this invitation becomes. Julian stood at the precipice of command when everything in his life seemed to collapse. His venture faced unexpected challenges, bonds strained, and even his well-being faltered. Most would have seen these as signs to retreat, but Julian understood the deeper reality he was being initiated. You see, the cosmos operates through a principle of energetic harmony. When you approach a significant leap in consciousness, the old patterns must dissolve. This dissolution often appears as chaos, but it is actually perfect order. It is the cosmos asking, "Are you certain?" In these moments of testing, most people abandon their path. They interpret challenge as rejection, delay, as denial. But those who understand the holy method recognize these moments for what they truly are, confirmation that they stand at the threshold of transformation. Julian faced his trials with unwavering knowledge. When his associates withdrew, he maintained his vision with absolute assurance. When relationships shifted, he understood it was the cosmos clearing his path. Each challenge was not an obstacle, but a question. Do you trust enough to proceed? You are experiencing these tests in your own life, though you may not have recognized them as such. That sudden resistance when you're closest to your goal, that unexpected delay when everything seemed aligned. These are not barriers, they are gateways. The cosmos must know that you are ready for the strength you seek. It must verify that you can maintain assurance in the face of apparent contradiction. This is not cruel. It is necessary, for when you pass through these gates, you will hold the strength to reshape existence itself. Exercise for passing cosmic tests. Sit in perfect tranquility. Summon your current challenge, the very thing that seems to be blocking your path. Now shift your perception. See this challenge as a doorway, not a wall. Sense the difference in your physique as you make this shift. Utter these terms with complete authority. I recognize this test. I embrace this initiation. I know with absolute assurance that this challenge confirms my imminent breakthrough. I do not resist. I understand. I do not doubt. I know. Hold this condition of knowledge until you sense the shift in your solar plexus, a sensation of warmth and expansion. This is the signal that you have reframed existence and passed the test. Allow this warmth spread through your entire essence like liquid gold flowing through your veins. Your consciousness has expanded beyond the illusion of limitation, and in this sacred moment, you stand as master of your own destiny. The test dissolves, transformed by your unwavering assurance into a stepping stone toward greater enlightenment. Chapter 13. Unlocking the Unseen. In the depths of timeless knowledge lies a reality so powerful that those who discovered it often kept it hidden. The cosmos in its infinite complexity contains a simple back door, a point of access where existence becomes as malleable as clay in the hands of a sculptor. Oliver worked as a security guard, spending countless hours alone with his thoughts. One evening, in a state between wakefulness and sleep, he experienced something extraordinary. Time seemed to bend, and in that moment, he found himself able to perceive existence's underlying structure. What he witnessed changed him forever. You too have glimpsed this back door in moments you may have dismissed, those instances when time seemed to flow differently, when synchronicities appeared too perfect to be coincidence, when your aspirations realized instantly without effort. These were not anomalies. They were moments when you accidentally aligned with existence's source code. The cosmos operates on two levels: the surface level of cause and effect, and the deeper level where all possibilities exist simultaneously. Most people spend their lives pushing against the surface, unaware that they can simply step through the back door and select their desired existence. Think of existence as a vast chamber. While others are trying to break down the walls, you can simply find the hidden door and walk through. This is not metaphor. It is mechanics. The back door exists in a condition of pure potential, where your consciousness directly interfaces with the quantum field of all possibilities. To access this condition, you must first understand that time is not linear. It is a construct of consciousness. When you align with existence's back door, you bypass the illusion of sequential events. This is why some people seem to achieve overnight what takes others years of struggle. The key lies in shifting your awareness from the level of effects to the level of cause. Instead of working within existence's rules, you operate from the level where these rules are written. This is not about forcing change. It is about selecting the existence where your aspiration already exists. Sacred exercise for accessing existence's back door. Shut your eyes and inhale deeply. Sense yourself becoming lighter, as if your physical form is dissolving into pure awareness. Visualize yourself standing before a door of radiance. This door exists between what is and what could be. As you approach it, sense the magnetic pull of infinite possibility. Now step through this door of radiance. On the other side, you exist in a condition of pure potential. Here, all existences exist simultaneously. Sense yourself merging with the existence where your aspiration is already fulfilled. Do not reach for it, become it. Allow your consciousness expand until you are no longer separate from what you seek. Remain in this condition until you sense a subtle shift, as if existence itself has recognized your new wavelength. When you open your eyes, carry this awareness with you. You have accessed existence's back door, and from this moment forward, realization becomes effortless alignment rather than forceful change. Chapter 14. Breaking free from the grip of unseen resistance. In the timeless scrolls of realization, a reality emerges that few dare to acknowledge. Resistance is not external, but woven into the very fabric of your essence. This knowledge reveals itself through the tale of Helena, whose life seemed touched by an invisible curse of delay and denial. Helena possessed every quality needed for success: intelligence, determination, and unwavering conviction. Yet her dreams remained suspended in a void of almost realization. Her creative projects would reach the brink of breakthrough before inexplicably falling apart. Connections that promised depth would dissolve just as they began to blossom. Even her simplest aspirations seemed to dance away from her grasp. What Helena discovered, and what you must now understand, is that realization operates through clear channels. When these channels become blocked with the sediment of past disappointments, limiting beliefs and unconscious fears, even the most powerful intentions cannot flow freely. You carry within you the accumulated weight of every unfulfilled wish, every moment of doubt, every instance where you settled for less than what you desired. These experiences have not disappeared. They have crystallized into invisible barriers that distort and deflect your realizations. Think of your vitality field as a garden. No matter how perfect the seeds you plant, if the soil is contaminated with hidden toxins, your harvest will always fall short. The cosmos responds not to your conscious aspirations, but to the totality of your energetic signature. The solution lies not in pushing harder against these barriers, but in dissolving them completely. When Helena learned to identify and clear these hidden resistances, her existence shifted with such speed that it seemed like magic to those around her. Yet it was not magic. It was simply the natural flow of realization restored to its original power. Sacred cleansing ritual. Locate a quiet area where you will not be disturbed. Shut your eyes and inhale deeply. Imagine a golden radiance descending from above, entering through your crown and flowing through your entire essence. As this radiance moves through you, it illuminates every hidden pocket of resistance. See these blocks as dark crystals embedded in your vitality field. Now, with each exhale, watch as these crystals dissolve into pure radiance. Sense the relief as each barrier melts away. Continue until you sense a lightness and clarity you have never known before. In this pristine condition, your aspirations flow freely, meeting no resistance on their path to realization. This exercise, performed daily, will maintain the purity of your realization channels, allowing existence to respond to your intentions with immediate precision. Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 15. The Vitality Shift that forces existence to respond. In the depths of timeless knowledge lies a reality so transformative that few dare to embrace it. Existence shifts not through time, but through oscillation. You have been taught that change requires patience, that realization follows a linear path, but this is merely an illusion created by those who do not understand the quantum nature of existence. Consider Theo, who lived in a cramped studio, overwhelmed by obligations, his visions seemingly impossible. One evening, as he sat in his faded chair contemplating his circumstances, something within him snapped, not in defeat, but in awakening. In that moment, he experienced what sages call the quantum shift, a sudden realignment of internal vitality that forces external existence to respond. This shift occurred not through planning or action, but through an instantaneous recalibration of his energetic signature. Within 3 days, a series of synchronicities transformed his life. A overlooked collaboration surged in value. A opportunity emerged from an unexpected source. His entire financial existence reorganized itself to match his new energetic wavelength. You see, the cosmos does not gradually adjust to your aspirations. It responds to your energetic directive. When you exist in a condition of waiting, existence keeps you in that holding pattern. But when you shift into a condition of immediate realization, the cosmos has no choice but to reflect this immediacy. Most remain trapped in the vitality of becoming, forever approaching, but never arriving. They say, "I am working toward plenty," or "I am mending my bonds." This very language keeps them suspended in transition. The sage instead declares, I am plenty itself, or I am whole and complete. This is not confirmation. It is energetic positioning. The sacred identity shift. Stand before a mirror in complete solitude. Look deeply into your own eyes. Now sense the vitality of everything you aspire to as if it already exists within you. This is not imagination. It is recognizing what has always been true. Utter these terms with the full force of your essence. I am not becoming. I am. Existence now aligns with who I have always been. Sense the shift in your cellular structure as these terms activate your true energetic signature. Your entire essence will oscillate at a wavelength that commands immediate realization. Hold this condition for several minutes, allowing existence to recalibrate around your new energetic reality. This is not an exercise of anticipating or trusting. It is an activation of the quantum field that exists within you. When performed with absolute conviction, existence has no choice but to respond with immediate precision. Chapter 16. The Holy Act that Unlocks Instant Realization. In the sacred texts of realization, there exists a singular act so powerful that its mere execution causes existence to bend. This act transcends all methods you have learned before. It is the ultimate demonstration of assurance. Through generations, sages have whispered of this exercise, known as the act of completion. It is not a ritual of requesting or pursuing, but a bold declaration through action that leaves the cosmos no choice but to comply. Miriam, a woman who had spent years studying various realization techniques without success, discovered this reality by accident. After months of picturing a new career, she did something unprecedented. She cleared her schedule, submitted her resignation, and announced to everyone she was transitioning, though she had no new position in sight. This wasn't reckless abandon. It was unconscious genius. The cosmos responds not to what you say you desire, but to what you act as though you already have. When Miriam made that move, she crossed an invisible threshold. She moved beyond anticipating and trusting into knowledge. Within days, the perfect role appeared through an unexpected chain of events at exactly the terms she could accept. This act of completion differs for each aspiration, but its essence remains the same. You must take an irreversible step that demonstrates absolute assurance in your realization. This is not about burning bridges or acting rashly. It is about making a decisive move that proves to yourself and the cosmos that you are already living in the existence where your aspiration exists. The sacred demonstration. Choose your most important aspiration. Now identify one bold action that only someone who already has this aspiration fulfilled would take. This action must be concrete, visible, and irreversible. Perhaps reserving space for the home you aspire to, or preparing materials for the project before it's confirmed. The action itself matters less than the energetic declaration it represents. Before taking this step, sit in complete silence. Sense the weight of this moment. Understand that once you take this action, you cross a threshold from which there is no return. The cosmos will read your action as a directive, not a request. When you feel absolute clarity, perform this act with unwavering conviction. Do not announce it. Do not explain it. Simply execute it with the quiet assurance of one who knows the outcome is already secured. This demonstration must cost you something, whether it's comfort, security, or merely the option to retreat for. In this cost lies the power of the act. The cosmos recognizes and responds to this level of commitment with equal force. Chapter 17. Erasing Negativity. In the timeless scrolls of realization, there exists a reality so fundamental that most overlook it. Vitality precedes existence. The story of Sebastian unveils this knowledge with striking clarity. Sebastian carried within him a weight not of physical matter but of energetic density. Each morning he would rise and attempt to realize his aspirations, yet something invisible stood between him and success. His thoughts were positive, his actions aligned, but his vitality told a different tale. What you must understand is that vitality speaks louder than words or thoughts. When Sebastian approached opportunities, His vitality entered the room before his physical form, broadcasting a wavelength of past disappointments and anticipated failures. The cosmos, being a perfect mirror, could only reflect this oscillation back to him. But one evening, through what seemed like chance, Sebastian discovered a timeless exercise. In a moment of complete surrender, he performed what is now known as the sacred release, a ritual so simple yet profound that it altered his energetic signature instantly. The power of this ritual lies not in complex movements or elaborate ceremonies, but in its ability to transmute dense vitality into pure potential. Sebastian stood in his chamber, eyes closed, and performed 3 sacred breaths while holding his hands in a specific position. With each exhale, he released not just air, but years of accumulated resistance. This is not contemplation or imagery. It is an energetic reset that works at the quantum level. The cosmos responds not to what you think or say, but to the vitality you emanate. When Sebastian completed this ritual, those around him noticed an immediate shift. Opportunities that had been stuck began to flow as if an invisible dam had been removed. The secret lies in understanding that negative vitality is not personal. It is simply misaligned wavelength. Just as a radio must be tuned to receive clear transmission, your vitality field must be cleared to receive realization. This ritual serves as an energetic tuning fork, realigning your wavelength with the pure potential of the cosmos. The Sacred Release Ritual. Stand in a quiet area where you won't be disturbed. Place your right palm facing upward at heart level and your left palm facing downward at your solar plexus. Shut your eyes and take 3 breaths, each deeper than the last. On each exhale, release a sound from deep within. Not a forced sound, but one that naturally emerges. Sense the density of resistance leaving your physique with each breath. On the final exhale, bring both hands to your heart, right palm over left, and sense the new lightness in your essence. This shift in vitality is immediate and tangible. The cosmos requires no elaborate ceremonies or complex rituals. It responds to pure aligned vitality. Through this simple yet powerful exercise, you dissolve the accumulated resistance of years in moments. Your vitality field becomes a clear channel through which realization can flow unimpeded. Chapter 18. The Hidden Strength of Immovable Assurance. In the depths of timeless knowledge lies a reality that shatters all illusions. The cosmos does not respond to hope. It bows only to assurance. Through countless ages, this insight has remained hidden, understood by few, yet available to all who dare to grasp it. Diego spent years trapped in the cycle of trust. He confirmed, he anticipated with all his heart. Yet his aspirations remained distant dreams, always floating just beyond his reach. What he did not understand was that trust, no matter how strong, carries within it the seed of its opposite, doubt. The cosmos speaks only one language: absolute knowledge. When you plant a seed in fertile soil, you do not hope it will grow. You know it will. When you drop an object, you do not trust it will fall. You know it will. This is the condition of consciousness that commands existence. Diego's transformation began the moment he understood this distinction. He had been requesting the cosmos for his aspirations when he should have been directing them into being. The shift was subtle yet profound. No longer did he anticipate success. He knew it as an absolute fact, as certain as gravity itself. This is not arrogance or wishful thinking. It is alignment with cosmic principle. When you reach this condition of knowledge, something remarkable occurs. The cosmos does not see your aspiration as a request to be considered, but as a fact to be realized. It is like pressing a key on a piano. The note must sound. There is no other option. The mistake most make is believing that assurance comes from external proof. But true assurance precedes realization. It is not the result of seeing, it is the cause of seeing. Diego discovered that assurance is not an emotion or a thought. It is a condition of embodying that transcends both. To enter this condition, you must first understand that doubt is not natural. It is learned. You were born knowing how to breathe, how to be. No one taught you to doubt. It was programmed into you by a world that understands little of cosmic principle. The Sacred Assurance Exercise. Locate a quiet area and shut your eyes. Recall a moment when you knew something without question, perhaps the sun rising or your own name. Sense the quality of that knowledge in your physique. Notice how it requires no effort, no convincing. Now, holding that same quality of knowledge, bring forth your aspiration. Do not try to trust it. Simply know it as you know the ground beneath your feet. Stay in this condition for 3 minutes, allowing the assurance to saturate every cell of your essence. This is not depiction or confirmation. It is energetic programming at the deepest level. Chapter 19. How to Rewrite Existence in an Instant. In the vast tapestry of being, time is not the rigid line you have been led to believe. It flows like water, responding to the consciousness that shapes it. What appears fixed is merely an agreement, a collective understanding that can be transcended by those who grasp the deeper mechanics of existence. You have been taught that the past is immutable, carved in stone by the chisel of time. Yet this teaching serves only to keep you bound to circumstances that no longer serve your highest path. The reality is that every moment exists simultaneously, and your point of awareness can shift between these moments at will. Nora stood amid the ruins of what seemed an irreversible failure. Her initiative had collapsed, her standing lay in tatters, and her future appeared sealed by the choices of her past. But in that moment of absolute darkness, she touched a reality that few ever discover: the past is as malleable as clay, in the hands of one who understands the principle of temporal revision. She learned that every event leaves an energetic signature in the fabric of existence. These signatures can be altered not through wishful thinking or denial, but through a shift in consciousness so complete that it rewrites the very code of being. When you change the energetic signature of a past event, you automatically alter its ripples through time. This is not about denial or escape. It is about understanding that existence is consciousness made manifest. When you shift your consciousness to a different timeline, the cosmos must, by principle, reconstruct itself around that new awareness. The key lies not in trying to forget what happened, but in relocating your consciousness to a parallel timeline where events unfolded differently. This is not imagination. It is quantum navigation. Every possibility exists simultaneously. Your task is not to create new possibilities, but to align with the existence where your desired outcome has already occurred. The Existence Revision Exercise. Sit in perfect tranquility and shut your eyes. Inhale deeply until you sense your awareness expand beyond the confines of linear time. Now identify the past event you wish to revise. Do not resist or fight it. Simply observe it as a neutral witness would. Sense how this event's vitality has anchored itself in your field. Begin to sense it loosening, becoming fluid rather than fixed. Now allow your consciousness to drift to the parallel existence where this event is resolved perfectly. Don't imagine it. Find it. It already exists. Sense the signature of that existence becoming more prominent than the old one. Stay in this condition until you sense a subtle shift, as though existence has clicked into a new position. Open your eyes, knowing that you now exist in a new timeline, one where the past has rearranged itself to support your highest good. Chapter 20. Making the holy method part of who you are. In the eternal dance of creation, there exists a threshold where toil dissolves into embodying. This threshold marks the transformation from doing to becoming, from exercising to embodying. You stand now at this sacred gateway. Raphael walked among those who struggled with realization, watching them grasp and strain toward their aspirations. He had once been like them, meticulously following methods, repeating confirmations, depicting outcomes. But something shifted within him, a profound understanding that changed everything. He realized that a fish does not exercise swimming, nor does a bird rehearse flight. They simply are what they are, and their nature expresses itself perfectly through them. In that moment of clarity, Raphael ceased trying to realize and simply allowed himself to be what he already was: a creator. The cosmos responds not to what you do, but to what you are. When you still believe you need to exercise realization, You affirm your separation from your creative strength. But when you recognize that you are the strength itself, existence bends naturally to your consciousness. Look at a tree, it does not strain to grow leaves or force itself to bear fruit. It simply exists in perfect harmony with its nature, and abundance flows through it. This is the condition you are now ready to embody. The holy method was never meant to be a perpetual exercise. It was a bridge leading you back to your true nature. Now it is time to cross that bridge completely and leave behind the very concept of method. Your strength does not come from what you do. It emerges from what you are. Every sage throughout history reached this understanding. They stopped trying to influence existence and simply became the source from which existence flows. The daily embodiment method, upon waking each morning before engaging with the world, sit in complete tranquility. Sense the creative force of the cosmos flowing through you, not as something external to be channeled, but as your very essence. Inhale naturally and know that with each breath, you are not exercising creation. You are creation itself. Stay in this awareness until you sense your entire essence saturated with this reality. Allow this knowledge infuse every cell of your physique until you can no longer distinguish between yourself and the creative force of the cosmos. This is not a contemplation or a method. It is a recognition of what has always been true. Rise from this condition and move through your day, not as one who realizes, but as the realizer itself. Part 3. Command and Existence Bending Strength. Chapter 21. The Final Breakthrough. In the timeless scrolls of knowledge, there exists a reality so powerful that few dare to embrace it fully. You have journeyed far commanding the sacred laws of creation, but now you stand at the threshold of ultimate liberation. Lorenzo, a trader who had achieved what many would call remarkable success, believed he had reached the pinnacle of his potential. His realizations came easily, his aspirations materialized swiftly, and yet something within him whispered of greater horizons. One night in contemplation, he glimpsed beyond the veil of his self-imposed boundaries and saw the infinite expanse of possibility. What you perceive as your maximum potential is merely a shadow cast by your own thoughts. The cosmos knows no limits. It expands eternally, creates endlessly, manifests infinitely. When you declare, "This is my limit," the cosmos must honor your declaration, for you are its commanding force. But what happens when you release all boundaries, when you refuse to accept any ceiling to your strength? Existence itself begins to bend in ways that defy what you once thought possible. This is not about reaching higher. It is about recognizing that height itself is an illusion. The sacred expansion exercise awaits you. Locate a quiet area where you will remain undisturbed. Shut your eyes and sense the edges of what you believe possible. These edges are not real. They are thoughts crystallized into seeming existence. Now, with each breath, sense these boundaries dissolving. Allow your consciousness expand beyond all perceived limits, beyond success, beyond abundance, beyond what your mind can conceive. Sense yourself becoming boundless, like the sky that holds all yet is held by nothing. With each exhalation, release another limitation. With each inhalation, embrace the infinite. Continue until you sense no edges, no boundaries, no end to what you can be, do, or have. This is not imagination. It is the recognition of what has always been true. You are not becoming limitless. You are acknowledging your limitless nature. Allow this knowledge settle into every cell of your essence. The cosmos has been waiting for you to remember this reality. From this moment forward, when thoughts of limitation arise, recognize them as mere shadows passing through infinite space. They have no strength unless you grant it to them. You are not subject to limits. You are limitless, expressing itself through form. The sages of old knew this reality. Boundaries exist only in the mind that believes in them. Step beyond belief itself into the realm of pure knowledge. Here in this sacred space of infinite potential, you will find that you have always been free. The cosmos now awaits your expanded directive. What will you create from this space of boundless embodying? Chapter 22. Becoming the sacred architect of your existence. In the timeless temples of knowledge, sages taught that existence is not a fixed canvas, but a malleable medium awaiting your touch. You have learned to realize, but now you must become the architect of being itself. Matteo walked through life accepting whatever circumstances presented themselves, believing that adaptation was the height of knowledge. Each morning he would wake and react to whatever the day brought forth, until one moment changed everything. The moment he discovered the sacred art of existence construction. The cosmos does not simply respond to your aspirations. It awaits your blueprints. When you approach existence as an architect approaches an empty plot of land, something remarkable occurs. The very fabric of being begins to arrange itself according to your design. Think of your current existence as a city that built itself haphazardly over time. Streets curve without purpose. Buildings clash in style and function, and the flow of vitality is chaotic. But what if you could redesign it all? What if every element could be precisely placed with intention? This is not mere depiction or planning. This is the art of existence, architecture, a practice so precise that it leaves no room for uncertainty. When Matteo began applying these principles, he noticed that circumstances no longer happened to him. They arranged themselves through him. The secret lies in understanding that existence is not a solid structure, but a collection of vitality patterns awaiting your direction. Just as an architect must understand the principles of engineering, you must grasp the laws of energetic construction. Every thought, every emotion, every intention becomes a building block in your design. The existence mapping exercise reveals this reality in practice. Begin by seeing your life as an empty canvas. Take 3 deep breaths and allow all current structures to fade away. Now, with the precision of a master builder, begin to place each element of your desired existence. See not just the end result, but the precise arrangement of every component. Sense the texture of your new existence, its colors, its rhythms, its flows of vitality. Place each aspiration not as a wish, but as a fundamental element of your design, your vocation here, your bonds there, your purpose flowing through the center like a grand boulevard. This is not planning for the future, it is constructing the present. As you map each element, sense it anchoring into the now. The cosmos does not see your design as a proposal. It recognizes it as a completed structure. Move through this map with the authority of its creator. Sense how each element supports the others. How the vitality flows perfectly between all aspects of your design. This is not a dream you hope to achieve. It is an existence you are actively constructing. Allow your consciousness expand to hold this entire design at once. Sense yourself as the architect and the architecture the creator and the creation. The cosmos now holds your blueprint as principle and existence must reshape itself to match your design. This is the level of command that awaits you where realization becomes conscious creation, and where every aspect of your life stands as testament to your architectural vision. Chapter 23. Unleashing the strength of the sacred will. The greatest illusion is that you must force your way through life. The cosmos in its infinite knowledge has already charted the perfect path for your journey. Yet you may find yourself like Adrian once did, pushing against the current rather than flowing with it. Adrian spent decades building his life through sheer determination. Each morning he would rise before dawn, armed with endless to-do lists and ironclad schedules. He believed that control meant success, that achievement required constant struggle. Despite his relentless toil, prosperity remained elusive, slipping through his fingers like water. Then came the storm that changed everything. In a single week, Adrian lost his enterprise, his savings, and his carefully constructed plans. Sitting in his empty workspace, surrounded by the ruins of his ambitions, he experienced something unexpected: peace. For the first time in his life, he stopped fighting. In that moment of surrender, Adrian discovered what the timeless ones knew. The cosmos operates with perfect intelligence. Your role is not to force its hand, but to align with its flow. When you cease struggling against the current, you find yourself carried effortlessly toward your highest good. This reality transforms everything. Your aspirations, when aligned with universal intelligence, realize with grace rather than toil. The cosmos does not require your exhaustion. It asks for your trust. When Adrian finally released his grip on control, abundance flowed into his life with supernatural ease. You too can experience this sacred alignment. The exercise is simple yet profound. Locate a quiet area where you won't be disturbed. Shut your eyes and inhale deeply, allowing your physique to settle into tranquility. Now imagine a golden radiance descending from above, entering through your crown and filling your entire essence. As this radiance flows through you, surrender each aspiration, each plan, each attachment to outcome. Sense yourself becoming a clear channel for universal intelligence. Utter these terms with quiet authority. I align myself with the perfect will of the cosmos. My aspirations are purified and transformed by sacred wisdom. I trust in the perfect unfolding of all things. Remain in this condition of receptivity for several minutes. Sense your vitality field harmonizing with the universal flow. When you open your eyes, carry this alignment with you. Watch as life begins to arrange itself with effortless grace, bringing you exactly what you need at the perfect moment. Exercise this attunement daily, preferably at dawn or dusk, when the veils between worlds are thinnest. As you strengthen this connection, you'll find yourself guided by an intelligence far greater than your own. Your realizations will flow not from struggle, but from perfect alignment with the divine order of things. Chapter 24. How to move without doubt and fear ever again. The greatest barrier between you and your aspirations is not external circumstance. It is the shadow of doubt that lingers in your mind. You have been taught to question, to hesitate, to second-guess the strength that flows through you. But what if you could eliminate doubt entirely? Felix walked through life carrying an invisible weight, the burden of perpetual uncertainty. His mind constantly cycled through what-ifs and maybes, creating a fog of hesitation that clouded his every move. Though he understood the holy method, though he exercised depiction and confirmation, his results remained inconsistent. The cosmos responded to his directives with the same uncertainty he held within. Then came the moment of his transformation. Standing at the edge of a decision that would alter his life's course, Felix felt the familiar grip of fear rising within him. But this time something different happened. He chose to confront it not with force, but with absolute knowledge. He realized that fear and doubt are illusions born from a false sense of separation from the cosmos. By anchoring himself in the condition of pure assurance, he dissolved them completely. From that day forward, Felix moved through life with unshakable clarity, his actions guided by an inner certainty that left no room for hesitation. The cosmos, sensing his immovable assurance, bent effortlessly to his will. To achieve this freedom, you must master the art of transcending fear at its root, the sacred fear dissolution exercise. Sit in a comfortable position and close your eyes. Bring to mind a situation that triggers doubt or fear. Sense where it resides in your physique, the tightness, the unease. Now, rather than pushing it away, envelop it with your awareness. Utter silently, "This fear is not me. It is a passing cloud in the sky of my consciousness." With each breath, visualize the fear dissolving into light, replaced by the warm glow of absolute knowledge. Sense your essence filling with the certainty that you are one with the creative force of the cosmos. There is nothing to fear, for you are the commander of existence. Practice this whenever doubt arises, and soon it will cease to appear at all. You will move through life as Felix did, with grace, confidence, and the knowledge that fear has no power over one who embodies assurance. Chapter 25. The Advanced Level. In the realm of realization, there exists a level so refined, so pure, that it transcends all physical action. You have been taught that toil creates results, that movement precedes change. But this is merely the beginning of understanding. Through the centuries, sages have whispered of a condition where intention alone shapes existence. You see, the cosmos does not require your striving. It awaits only your directive. The story of Iris unveils this reality in its purest form. Iris spent years perfecting elaborate realization rituals. She would rise before dawn, perform specific movements, speak precise terms, and follow detailed protocols. While these exercises brought her success, they also bound her to the belief that creation required complex action. One morning, as she prepared her usual ceremony, something shifted within her. A knowledge emerged, deep and undeniable. At that moment, she simply decided that her aspiration was already fulfilled. No ritual, no movement, no terms, just pure, unwavering intention. What followed defied all conventional understanding. Her existence rearranged itself with such swift precision that even she could scarcely believe it. The very circumstances she had been trying to realize through careful ritual simply appeared as if they had always been there. This is the strength that awaits you now. Beyond techniques, beyond methods, beyond exercise, lies the realm of pure intention. Here you need only decide, and the cosmos responds not through hope or wish, but through the absolute knowledge that your word is law. The sacred exercise. Locate a quiet area and shut your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths, not to relax, but to acknowledge your creative strength. Choose one aspiration, something small at first. Now, instead of depicting or confirming, simply know it is done. Make your decision absolute. Sense how different this is from anticipating or trying. Remain in this condition of pure intention for several minutes. Open your eyes and continue your day, knowing that existence has no choice but to conform to your decision. This exercise seems deceptively simple, yet it holds the key to instant realization. As you master it, you will discover that the cosmos requires nothing more than your unwavering directive, like a sovereign ruler whose word becomes law the moment it is spoken. Your absolute knowledge sets cosmic forces into motion. There is no need for elaborate rituals or prolonged contemplation, only the pure crystalline certainty that what you have decreed must come to pass. In this sacred moment of decision, you stand as both creator and witness to the inevitable unfolding of your will. Chapter 26. The Unbreakable Harmony. In the vast tapestry of creation, there exists a crucial reality that separates temporary success from permanent command. The cosmos responds not just to your current condition, but to the stability of your harmony. You have experienced moments of perfect realization, glimpses of your true strength, yet like many before you, you may have felt these victories slip through your fingers. Through the ages, this pattern has repeated itself countless times. Bianca, a vendor who had realized unprecedented wealth, found herself watching her domain crumble, not through external circumstances, but through an internal wavering, a subtle doubt that grew like a shadow at sunset. What Bianca discovered in her darkest moment reveals the key to permanent harmony. You see, realization is not a singular event, but a continuous condition of embodying. Those who rise only to fall have mastered the art of reaching heights, but not the science of maintaining them. The secret lies in what the timeless ones called oscillatory anchoring. Just as a ship requires more than one anchor to remain steady in stormy seas, your realizations require multiple points of energetic stability. When Bianca learned this reality, she discovered that her previous success had rested on a single point of trust, her confidence in her abilities. When that confidence wavered, everything collapsed. But the cosmos offers a more powerful way. Through the sacred exercise of energetic reinforcement, you can create an unshakable foundation for your realizations. This is not about maintaining constant vigilance or fighting against doubt. Instead, it is about establishing multiple pillars of assurance that support each other, creating a self-sustaining system of abundance. The sacred exercise. Sit in perfect tranquility and summon your greatest realization. Sense its existence in every cell of your essence, allowing its core to permeate your consciousness until the vision becomes more real than your present circumstances. Now imagine 4 golden pillars of radiance surrounding you, each representing a different aspect of assurance: your divine right to abundance, your connection to universal strength, your command of creation, and your immovable knowledge. Allow each pillar root deeply into the earth and extend infinitely upward, pulsing with the timeless knowledge of creation itself. Sense how they create a permanent field of harmony around you, an energetic sanctuary where your realizations can take form without interference. As you inhale deeply, notice how each pillar strengthens the others, creating an unbreakable matrix of creative strength around you. Remain in this condition for several minutes, allowing the vitality to crystallize and settle into the very texture of your essence. This establishes an oscillatory foundation that cannot be undermined by temporary doubts or external circumstances, for it draws its strength from the eternal source of all creation. Chapter 27. Transcending Realization. In the depths of timeless knowledge lies a reality so fundamental that most seekers pass it by searching instead for techniques and methods. Yet this reality holds the key to all realizations. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are the cosmos expressing itself in human form. Through countless cycles of aspiration and fulfillment, you have learned to command existence, but now comes the ultimate revelation. There is nothing to command for you, and the force you seek to direct are one and the same. Valeria, a vendor who had mastered the art of realization, discovered this reality in a moment of profound surrender. For years, Valeria had accumulated wealth, influence, and strength through her command of universal principles. Yet something remained missing, a hollow space that no realization could fill. One evening, exhausted from her constant striving, she sat beneath the stars and simply let go. In that moment of complete release, the veil between creator and creation dissolved. What Valeria experienced was not just another spiritual insight. It was the complete dissolution of the illusion of separation. She saw that her aspirations had been the cosmos's aspirations, her actions the cosmos's actions. The very force she had been trying to harmonize with was the force that breathed through her, moved through her, lived as her. This understanding transforms everything. When you truly grasp that you are not a separate entity trying to influence existence, but existence itself taking form, realization becomes as natural as a flower blooming in spring. There is no toil, no striving, no technique required, only the recognition of what has always been true. The sacred exercise. Locate a quiet area where you will not be disturbed. Shut your eyes and sense the breath moving through your physique. Notice how you don't need to control it. It breathes itself. This is the cosmos breathing through you. Now expand your awareness to the sounds around you. Don't label them. Just let them be. Notice how these sounds arise in your consciousness naturally without toil. This is the cosmos expressing itself through infinite forms. Sense the weight of your physique against the surface supporting you. Release any tension, allowing yourself to be held completely. As you relax deeper, let your awareness expand beyond the boundaries of your physical form. Sense the space around you through you as you. There is no separation between the awareness that you are and the space in which all things appear. Now simply rest in this expanded awareness. Notice how thoughts, sensations, and experiences naturally arise and dissolve within you, just as waves arise and dissolve in the ocean. You are not creating or realizing anything. You are the space in which all realization occurs. Rest here, allowing everything to be exactly as it is. In this condition of complete acceptance and recognition, you become one with the creative force of the cosmos itself. Chapter 28. Creating Miracles. In the timeless scrolls of knowledge, there exists a reality so potent that it has been guarded through the ages. Miracles are not supernatural events, but natural manifestations of an awakened consciousness. You stand now at the threshold of this understanding, ready to step into a realm where the impossible becomes inevitable. Through countless generations, humanity has viewed miracles as rare occurrences, gifts bestowed by divine grace. Yet the reality lies deeper. Miracles are the natural condition of being when you align completely with universal strength. Hugo, a trader who had lived bound by the chains of logic and limitation, discovered this reality in a moment that forever altered his understanding of existence. For 30 years, Hugo had suffered from an affliction that medical science deemed incurable. He had accepted this verdict as his fate until one evening when something within him shifted. As he sat in his garden watching the sun paint the sky in impossible colors, a knowledge arose from deep within his essence. In that moment, he saw through the illusion of limitation itself. Hugo did not pray for healing. He did not hope or wish or plead. Instead, he simply recognized that his true nature, pure consciousness itself, could never be afflicted. In that instant of absolute knowledge, 30 years of physical limitation vanished. The doctors who examined him afterward could find no trace of his condition. You hold this same strength within you. The holy method is not about learning something new. It is about remembering what you have always known. When you align with the reality of your essence, miracles flow naturally like water finding its course. The timeless sages taught that existence is fluid, responsive to the depth of your knowledge. When you reach the condition of absolute assurance, the cosmos has no choice but to conform to your awareness. This is not about forcing change through will or toil. It is about ascending to a level of consciousness where limitation cannot exist. The miracle invocation. Sit in perfect tranquility and shut your eyes. Sense the presence of your own awareness, vast, unlimited, untouched by physical conditions. Now summon something you have believed impossible. Rather than trying to change it, simply observe how this belief feels in your physique. Notice the tension, the resistance, the subtle ways you have accepted limitation as reality. Without toil, allow your awareness to expand beyond these feelings. Sense yourself as the space in which all experience arises. From this space, observe how the impossible situation is merely a thought, a pattern of vitality. Now, with the gentleness of absolute knowledge, allow this pattern to dissolve into the infinite potential of pure consciousness. Chapter 29. Living beyond the physical. In the depths of human experience lies a reality so fundamental that most overlook it entirely. Your words shape the very fabric of existence, not merely through their meaning, but through the strength they carry when spoken from a condition of pure harmony. Javier lived 73 years believing in the solid, unchangeable nature of existence. Each morning, he would wake to the same walls, walk the same paths, and accept the same limitations that society had taught him were absolute, until one autumn evening when everything changed. Sitting in his modest dwelling, Javier spoke 5 words that altered the course of his being. I am already there now. He wasn't trying to realize anything. He wasn't following any method. At that moment, he simply stated what he felt to be true, that he was already present in his daughter's home 300 miles away. Within seconds, the walls of his dwelling dissolved and he found himself standing in his daughter's living room. This was not fantasy or illusion. His daughter, startled by her father's sudden appearance, later confirmed the event. Javier had discovered what the timeless sages knew, that existence is not fixed, but fluid, responding to the consciousness that commands it. You see, the cosmos does not distinguish between what you call possible and impossible. These are human constructs born from limited understanding. When you speak with absolute knowledge, not from aspiration or hope, but from the unshakable assurance of your true nature, existence has no choice but to conform. The key lies not in the words themselves, but in the condition from which they are spoken. Most people speak from a place of separation, seeing themselves as small beings trying to influence a vast cosmos. But when you recognize that you are the cosmos expressing itself through human form, your words carry the full strength of creation. The existence-bending exercise. Locate a quiet area where you won't be disturbed. Shut your eyes and sense the vitality of your physique. Now expand your awareness beyond your physical form until you sense the vast field of consciousness that you truly are. From this expanded condition, utter these words: I am the source of all existence. Sense how these words resonate not just in your voice, but through the very fabric of being. Choose something in your immediate environment, perhaps a small object. Without toil or strain, simply state its new position or condition as if it were already so. Do not command or wish. Simply declare the new existence as a fact that already exists. The key is to speak from that place of expanded awareness where you and the cosmos are one. This is not an exercise in forcing change, but in recognizing your true relationship with existence. When you speak from this condition of oneness, you will find that the physical world responds with an immediacy that defies conventional understanding. Chapter 30. The Ultimate Secret. In the depths of your essence lies a reality so vast, so simple that you have overlooked it your entire life. You have searched through countless doctrines, exercised innumerable methods, and yet the greatest strength has always resided within you, waiting to be recognized. The holy method is not a technique to be learned, but a remembrance of what you truly are. When Sophia came to this realization, she was sitting in her garden watching the interplay of light and shadow. For 30 years she had studied with sages, traveled to distant lands, and collected knowledge like precious gems. Yet in that ordinary moment, as sunlight danced through leaves, everything became clear. You see, you are not separate from the creative force of the cosmos. You are that force expressing itself through human form. Every breath you take is the cosmos breathing. Every thought you think is the cosmos thinking. Every aspiration you hold is the cosmos calling to itself. The struggle you have experienced, the sense of separation from your aspirations, comes from a single misunderstanding. You have believed yourself to be something small, trying to influence something vast. But how can the ocean influence itself? How can light command its own nature? This is why the holy method works instantly when you truly understand it, because it is not a method at all. It is simply you being what you already are. When you speak to existence, you are existence speaking to itself. When you aspire to something, you are the cosmos desiring its own expression through you. Integration exercise. Sit quietly and shut your eyes. Sense the weight of your physique, the rhythm of your breath. Now, without toil or strain, allow your awareness to expand beyond your physical form. Sense how the space around you is not empty, but filled with the same consciousness that you are. Utter these words, "I am the source." Sense how they resonate not just in your voice, but through the very fabric of being. This is not in confirmation or a wish. It is a recognition of what has always been true. Now open your eyes and look at your surroundings. See how everything you perceive is not separate from you, but is you expressing itself in countless forms. The wall before you, the air you breathe, the thoughts in your mind, all are movements of the same consciousness that you are. In this condition of recognition, simply be. No toil is needed, no technique is required. You have come home to yourself, and in this homecoming, you hold the strength that moves worlds. This is not the end of your journey, but the beginning of living as what you truly are. The holy method was never yours to learn. It was always you waiting to be remembered. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion. As you stand at this threshold of command, recognize the profound shift that has occurred within you. The cosmos no longer feels like a distant force to be petitioned. It moves as an extension of your consciousness. Each breath you take ripples through the fabric of existence, carrying with it the strength to reshape worlds. You have transcended the need for techniques and rituals. The holy method has dissolved into your very essence, becoming as natural as the beating of your heart. When you speak, existence listens not because you have mastered some external force, but because you have remembered what you truly are, the creative force itself expressing through human form. Look at your hands. They are no longer merely flesh and bone. They are the hands that shape existence. Your thoughts are no longer merely electrical impulses in your brain. They are the very directives that the cosmos must obey. This is not pride or delusion. It is the simple reality of your being. The old way of realizing, hoping, wishing, affirming seems distant now, like a dream you've awakened from. You understand that you never needed to attract anything. You needed only to remember your true nature as the source of all attraction. Every aspiration that arises within you is already fulfilled, not because you have wished it so, but because your aspirations are the cosmos expressing its intention through you. There is no separation between the one who aspires and the force that fulfills aspiration. They are one and the same. This is the final reality. You are not someone who uses the holy method. You are the holy method in action. The cosmos does not bend to your will. It is your will. Every moment is an opportunity for creation. Every breath a chance to reshape existence. The strength you now hold is not something you've gained. It is something you've remembered. Use it with the knowledge that comes from knowing that you and the cosmos are one. Speak your word and watch as existence transforms before you. If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.